Are you feeling frustrated with your English learning journey? Have you been putting in the effort day after day, but still feel like you're not making the progress you hoped for? I completely understand what you're going through, and I've been in that exact spot before. The feeling of being stuck can be overwhelming, but here's the good news. There is a way forward that makes learning English not just easier, but actually fun. The secret to improvement lies in creating small, simple daily habits that add up over time. Think of them like tiny stepping stones that gradually lead you to mastery. These habits don't need to be complicated or time-consuming. They're the kind of things you can incorporate into your everyday routine without feeling overwhelmed. By making learning English a natural part of your day, you'll start noticing improvements without even realizing it. So, if you're ready to break free from that frustrating cycle and start seeing real progress, let's explore how these daily habits can change the way you learn and help you become the confident English speaker you've always wanted to be. It's all about consistency, patience, and making the process enjoyable. Trust me, you've got this. Why are daily habits so important? When you do something every day, even for a short time, you slowly get better. Think of it like building a house. You don't do it all at once. You add one brick at a time. The same goes for learning English. One of the best habits I started was reading every day. I began with simple books like children's stories. At first, many words were unfamiliar, but I kept reading. Little by little, I started to understand more words and even whole sentences. It felt great to see progress. Listening to English every day became a key habit for me. I started with short YouTube videos on topics I liked, such as cooking or sports. In the beginning, it was tough to understand everything, but I didn't give up. I used subtitles to help me follow along, and little by little, I began to recognize familiar words and expressions. Watching regularly, I noticed my understanding improving day by day, which was really encouraging. When it comes to speaking, I know it can be challenging to talk to others in English, especially if you're not confident. To work around this, I decided to talk to myself instead. I'd speak out loud about my day, what I had for lunch, where I went, or how I felt. It seemed a little silly at first, but this habit made me feel more relaxed about speaking. Over time, I grew more comfortable and found myself speaking more easily. It helped me not only with speaking, but also with thinking in English, which made a big difference in my fluency and confidence. Writing is another great skill to practice daily. I began by keeping a simple journal where I would write just a few sentences about what happened in my day. In the beginning, my entries were basic, like, I had breakfast, I went to work, or I watched TV. But over time, I found myself adding more details and using more varied vocabulary. It felt rewarding to look back and see how much my writing had improved. Another important habit was learning new words every day. I set a goal to learn 5 new words each day. I would write them down, look up their meanings, and try to use them in sentences. This practice not only expanded my vocabulary, but it also helped me feel more confident when speaking and writing. It's surprising how much progress you can make when you dedicate just a few minutes every day to learning new words. Watching English movies and TV shows was another enjoyable way to improve my skills. I started with children's programs, as they usually feature simpler language and slower speech, making them easier to understand. Gradually, I began watching shows aimed at older audiences. I always turned on the English subtitles, which helped me connect spoken words with their written forms. This not only improved my listening skills, but also reinforced my understanding of new vocabulary in context. The best part was that I enjoyed learning without feeling like I was studying at all. Music is another fantastic way to improve your English. I started by listening to simple English songs that I enjoyed. I would look up the lyrics and try to sing along, which made the process fun. Not only did it help me learn new words and phrases, but it also made it easier to remember them. Singing along also helped me improve my pronunciation and rhythm, as I began to understand how words should sound in context. One habit that might surprise you is thinking in English. I made an effort to think in English throughout the day. Whether I was walking, cooking, or just relaxing, I tried to translate my thoughts into English. At first it felt challenging and unnatural, but over time, it became easier. This habit helped me build fluency, as it encouraged me to form sentences in my mind before speaking them out loud. The more I practiced, the more natural it felt to think in English, and it made speaking and writing much smoother. Using language learning apps is another great daily habit. There are plenty of free apps that can help you practice English in a fun and interactive way. I personally used one for just 15 minutes each day, and it quickly became part of my routine. It didn't feel like traditional studying at all. The app turned learning into a game, with levels and challenges that kept me engaged. In just a few minutes, I could practice vocabulary, grammar, listening, and even pronunciation. The best part was that I could use the app anytime, whether I had a few spare minutes or was on the go. Now, let's talk about how to make these habits stick. The most important thing is to start small and be consistent. Trying to do everything at once can feel overwhelming, so it's better to choose one or two habits to focus on initially. Even if it's just for a few minutes a day, consistency is key. As you build momentum, you'll find it easier to gradually add more habits, and your progress will feel more natural. It's also crucial to integrate these habits into your everyday life. I made it a point to practice English at moments when I didn't have to think too much about it. For example, I read in English while eating breakfast. This gave me a quiet time to focus on new vocabulary. On my walk to work, I listened to English podcasts, allowing me to immerse myself in the language even while doing something else. And before bed, I wrote a few sentences in my journal, reflecting on the day in English. By linking these habits to activities I was already doing, I didn't have to carve out extra time, and they became a natural part of my routine. Connecting your language practice to everyday tasks is a great way to keep things consistent and enjoyable. One helpful tip is to track your progress. I used a simple calendar to mark off each day I followed through with my English habits. Every time I practiced, I'd put a check mark on the calendar. Watching those check marks grow over time was really motivating and gave me a sense of accomplishment. Even on days when I didn't feel like I was improving, seeing the check marks reminded me that I was moving forward. It also helped me stay committed, as I didn't want to break the streak. Remember, learning a language takes time and patience, so don't expect instant results. There will be days when it feels like you're not making progress, and that's perfectly normal. The important thing is not to give up. By sticking to your daily habits, even when progress feels slow, you will eventually see improvements. Sometimes it's about trusting the process and knowing that every small effort counts. It's also helpful to make learning English more enjoyable. If you enjoy cooking, watch cooking tutorials or read recipes in English. This way, you're learning new words related to something you love. If you're into sports, follow English language sports blogs or watch games with English commentary. Connecting English to your hobbies makes the learning process feel more natural and fun, rather than like a boring task. When you enjoy what you're doing, learning becomes a lot easier and more exciting. Setting small, achievable goals made a huge difference for me. Instead of aiming to master everything at once, I focused on one thing at a time. For example, I set a goal to read one short story each week. At first, I thought it might be too easy, but I soon realized that reaching small goals like this gave me a sense of achievement. Each time I finished a story, it motivated me to tackle the next one. It made learning feel more manageable and less overwhelming. Don't be afraid of making mistakes while learning. I know it can feel embarrassing, but mistakes are part of the process. And they're actually helpful. The more you practice, the fewer mistakes you'll make, but each one helps you improve. Even if you say something wrong or forget a word, just keep going. Mistakes are proof that you're trying, and every time you learn from one, you're getting better. Another key habit for me was reviewing regularly. At the end of each week, I would take a few minutes to look over the new words and phrases I had learned. This repetition helped me keep them fresh in my mind. I even wrote the words down on flashcards so I could quickly test myself. By reviewing regularly, I felt more confident in using what I had learned. Consistency was also crucial. It's easy to think you can catch up on learning in one big session, but it's much more effective to practice a little every day. I found that spending 15 minutes a day on English, even on busy days, made a big difference. When you practice regularly, it's like building muscle. Little by little, it grows stronger, and soon you start noticing results. Finally, surrounding myself with English was a game changer. I changed the language settings on my phone, computer, and even social media accounts to English. It felt strange at first, but over time, it became natural to see English everywhere. I also put labels on common items in my house, like window, lamp, and door. Every time I saw a label, it reminded me of the word in English, and I started thinking in English more often, which helped me get more comfortable with the language. It's really important to be patient with yourself during the learning process. Learning a language takes time, and some days will feel like big steps forward, while others might feel slower. That's completely normal. The key is to keep going, even on the tough days. Remember, every small step counts. Don't forget to celebrate your progress along the way. When you reach a goal, no matter how small, take a moment to feel proud of what you've achieved. This will give you the motivation to keep pushing forward. One great habit I picked up was teaching others what I learned. Even if I was still a beginner, I'd share new words or phrases with my family or friends. Teaching others helped me understand the material better and made me feel more confident. Keep in mind that everyone learns differently. If one habit isn't working for you, don't be afraid to try something else. The important part is finding what works for you and sticking with it. For me, joining an English learning community was a game changer. There are lots of online groups where you can practice with other learners. Being part of a community made learning more motivating and fun. Another tip is to set a specific time each day for practicing English. It's easier to make it a habit when you dedicate a regular time for it. For me, early mornings worked best. Find the time that fits your schedule and stick to it, and don't hesitate to ask for help if you don't understand something. Whether it's a teacher, a friend, or an online group, there are people who are happy to support you and answer your questions. Learning English isn't just about studying grammar. It's about using the language in real situations. Look for small ways to use English in your daily routine. You don't have to wait for big moments to practice. Read signs, menus, or labels around you. Even these little actions can make a big difference in getting used to the language. Mastering English takes time, and it's important to be patient with yourself. Remember that every expert started as a beginner. With daily effort and the right habits, you can make steady progress. If you keep practicing, you will improve and eventually become fluent. It's about being consistent and believing that progress will come, step by step. Let's think about it for a moment. Are you finding it hard to make real progress in learning English? Do you feel like you're stuck making the same mistakes over and over again? Many learners face similar struggles, but don't worry, you're not alone. It's normal to face challenges when learning something new, and together we can explore ways to overcome these obstacles and keep moving forward. One common mistake many learners make is translating directly from their native language. This often leads to awkward sentences that don't make sense in English. For example, if your first language is Spanish, you might say, "I have 30 years" instead of "I am 30 years old." A simple solution is to avoid translating and try thinking in English as much as possible. This way, you'll start to form sentences naturally. Another mistake that happens often is using the wrong word order. English follows a specific structure: subject, verb, object. For example, "I like pizza" is correct, but "pizza I like" would sound strange. To improve, focus on practicing sentences in the correct order. With time, it will become second nature. Pronunciation is another area where many learners struggle. English has a lot of sounds that aren't found in other languages, like the th in think or this. These can be tricky to pronounce, but don't worry if you're not perfect right away. Keep practicing and try to listen closely to how native speakers pronounce words. Imitating their sounds will help you improve. Another challenge learners face is vocabulary mistakes. Many English words have multiple meanings, which can be confusing. For example, the word bank could refer to a place where you keep money or the edge of a river. To avoid confusion, try to learn words in context. This will help you understand how they're used in different situations. To avoid these kinds of mistakes, one of the best things you can do is immerse yourself in English as much as possible. Watch English movies, listen to music, and read books or articles in English. The more you expose yourself to the language, the easier it becomes to recognize natural sentence patterns and word meanings. It's also important to practice speaking English often, even if you make mistakes. Don't let fear stop you from talking to native speakers or joining language exchange groups. The more you practice, the more comfortable and confident you'll become with the language. The key is consistency. Practice every day and be patient with yourself. One way to enhance your studies is by using language learning apps and websites. Many of these platforms provide interactive exercises that can help you practice key areas like grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. Another great habit is keeping a journal in English. By writing down your thoughts and daily experiences, you can improve your sentence structure while learning new words. Now, let's talk about the advantages of learning English. As one of the most widely spoken languages globally, English can open numerous opportunities in your professional life. Mastering English can significantly improve your career prospects and give you access to more job opportunities. Many global companies use English as the main language of communication. Being fluent in English can increase your chances of securing a job at an international level. For instance, if you were to apply for a position at a multinational tech company, your ability to speak English could help you stand out among other applicants. It might also allow you to collaborate with colleagues from different countries, attend global conferences, or even consider relocating to an English-speaking country for your career. In your personal life, knowing English can also help you connect with people from various cultures. You can build friendships with individuals from around the world and share cultural experiences. Imagine traveling to a new country and being able to interact with the locals, gaining deeper insights into their traditions and stories. When you travel, English becomes an incredibly helpful tool. It's often referred to as the language of travel because it's widely spoken in airports, hotels, and popular tourist destinations around the world. For example, imagine you're in Rome. Being able to ask for directions, order a meal, or book a tour in English would make your experience much smoother. Learning English also opens the door to countless forms of entertainment and information. You can watch Hollywood movies without needing subtitles, read classic books in their original language, and understand the meaning behind your favorite English songs. Plus, English is the main language used online. By learning it, you gain access to a vast amount of digital content, from educational articles to social media platforms, allowing you to interact with people across the globe and explore a wealth of knowledge. Take a moment to think about your English learning progress. What new habits could you begin to boost your skills? You might try watching a short English video daily or learning 5 fresh words each week. Which English activity would you enjoy practicing regularly? It could be reading a news article, listening to a podcast while you commute, or even chatting with a friend who speaks English. Learning a language isn't just about mastering grammar and vocabulary. It's a way to understand the culture behind the words. Let's dive into some cultural aspects of the English language. English is full of colorful idioms that tell stories about its history and values. For example, "It's raining cats and dogs" doesn't mean animals are falling from the sky. It's simply a way to say that it's raining heavily. Knowing these idioms helps you connect with the culture and communicate more naturally. Greetings in English can vary greatly depending on who you're talking to. For example, "How do you do?" is formal and polite, while "What's up?" is a casual way to check in with a friend. Noticing the small details in language can really improve your communication. English humor often involves wordplay, like puns, where words with multiple meanings are used to create jokes. These jokes are popular in English-speaking countries, and learning to understand them can add to your English skills. Each country has its own version of English, with unique slang. People in the UK, the US, and Australia might use different expressions, and learning these can help you understand the culture and speak more naturally in each region. English is constantly evolving, with new words emerging to reflect changes in society. Words like selfie and Brexit have become common as they represent modern trends and events, showing how language adapts over time. Learning about holidays and traditions in English-speaking countries can also help you understand their culture. For example, knowing why Americans celebrate Thanksgiving or what Boxing Day means in the UK gives you more cultural knowledge. Reading English books or watching TV shows in English can also help you learn more about English-speaking cultures. It helps you learn new words and how to understand cultural references at the same time. Remember, learning English takes time. Don't worry about making mistakes. They help you learn. Every mistake is a chance to get better. Try to use English every day. You can set small goals, like learning one new phrase each day or talking to someone in English for a few minutes each week. Celebrate every step forward. Did you understand an English joke or speak to a native without many mistakes? These are wins. Perfect speech isn't the goal. Clear communication is. Even native speakers make errors, so focus on expressing yourself well. Stay curious and keep exploring. Try a language exchange or join a conversation group. Practicing with others boosts confidence and gives valuable practice. Try thinking in English whenever you can, like talking to yourself about your day. Don't fear mistakes. They help you learn. The more you practice, the better you'll get. Learning takes time, so keep your goals in mind, whether for work, travel, or personal growth. Stay motivated by remembering why you're learning. Listen to different English accents to improve your understanding. Use memory tricks to recall tough words and grammar. When watching English media, practice active listening. Focus on new words and context. Remember, speaking, reading, writing, and listening all matter for fluency. If you enjoy cooking, watch cooking shows in English. If sports are your thing, read sports news in English. This makes learning enjoyable and connects to your interests. Also, know when to use formal and informal English to communicate better in different situations. While watching English videos, pay attention to body language and facial expressions. They're just as important. Try shadowing by repeating what a native speaker says immediately after to improve your pronunciation and intonation. Learn punctuation rules like when to use commas and periods to make your writing clearer. If you don't know a word, try paraphrasing. Explain the meaning using other words you know. This is useful in real conversations. Learning prefixes and suffixes helps you understand new words quickly. Pay attention to pronunciation, as stress and intonation can change a word's meaning. Instead of memorizing grammar rules, understand them in context. Learn common proverbs and sayings to speak more naturally. Practice English in real situations, like ordering food or giving directions. This will boost your confidence and improve your speaking. Remember, English is always changing. Be open to learning new words and phrases, even if you've studied for a long time. Choose content that matches your level of understanding. If it's too easy, you might get bored, but if it's too hard, you might give up. You can also learn about the etymology, history of words. This helps you remember them better. Don't compare yourself to others. Everyone learns at their own pace. The most important thing is how much you improve on your own. Use new words or phrases soon after learning them. This helps make them stick in your memory. Fluency in English takes time, effort, and patience, but it's worth it. The rewards will be amazing. Learning English is not only about understanding grammar and vocabulary. It's also about exploring new experiences, cultures, and opportunities. It helps you see the world from different perspectives. As you continue learning English, remember to be patient with yourself. Celebrate your progress, learn from your mistakes, and keep moving forward. With dedication and practice, you'll be surprised by how much you can achieve. Are you ready to take your English skills to the next level? Start today by choosing one English activity and sticking with it for the next week. Whether it's watching an English TV show, reading an article in English, or talking to an English-speaking friend, every small effort counts. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Your English learning journey is no different. Each new word, conversation, or mistake brings you closer to your goal of fluency. So, take that first step today. Pick an activity that excites you and practice regularly. Soon, you'll be speaking English with confidence and opening doors to new opportunities. The world is waiting for you, and English is the key to exploring it. Ready to start? Take the first step and unlock a world of possibilities.